Hello, hello, lovelies. Good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing today? I'm happy to see you all. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. So drop a heart in the chat so that I know that you can see and hear me. Making sure my audio, my visual is working out. Greetings from Barbados. I'm at home on a Sunday morning, relaxing. I'm still eating my breakfast, so I hope y'all don't mind if I take a bite of some turkey bacon and some of this avocado toast. Hey Kelly, hey Portia, thank you for letting me know you guys can hear and see me. Tell you what, if you can, let me know. Well, actually, two things I'm going to ask you to do. One, hit that share button and let people know that you're here. Share it to your page. That way they can actually see the streaming from your page, and then they can click on and join this conversation. We're gonna have a juicy conversation today. We're gonna have a juicy conversation today. We're gonna talk about uh, empaths. We're gonna talk about energy vampires, right? And we're going to also talk about saying yes before you're ready, because I put something on Facebook just I think 2 days ago. Um, I was basically writing a pep talk to myself. Sometimes I'm writing to you guys. Sometimes I'm writing to myself. Um, and I wrote a post about how I said yes before I felt like I was ready. I was just like, oh my God, nothing's ready. I'm going to talk about that because it really hit a nerve and it got so many responses. Last I checked, it was shared over 600 or 700 times. It was crazy. So yeah. So okay. Second thing, if you haven't already hit the share button, also drop in the chat where you are tuning in from. If you're outside of the US, make sure you say your country. If you're in the US, say the city and state so I know where people are listening in from. Okay, I'm going to give some shout outs. Hey, Danielle is here. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Roetta. Good morning, Donna. Peace and love is in here. Caitlin is in here. What's up? What's up? Afiba, good morning, Soror. Tamira Lewis is in here. On the Purple Couch is in here. I like that name. Shout out to my YouTube watchers. Portia's in here. Kelly Snyder. Kelly, are you still in Pennsylvania? Let me know where you're at. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Hey, Leela in Atlanta, Georgia. That's right. Kelly says she's in Stonesboro, Pennsylvania. Tamira is in Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, Solana Smith. Greetings from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay, okay. Vita is in the DMV. For those outside the country, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia area. That's my hometown area. Miss KP. Hey, Nikita. Thank you, love. This Barbados life is good to me. So I have my sun glow, but I have that inner glow. I'm happy here. This is my happy place. Hey, Amy Burke, my soror and Reiki practitioner friend. Peace and love is in Silver Spring. KP says she's in Maryland. That's Nikita. Nikita, if your name is Nikita, how come you KP on here? Tanya Parker, good morning, sister friend. Caitlin is in Baltimore. Don't forget to hit share. Let people know where you are. Afiba is back in Chicago, just in from South Dakota. What were you doing in South Dakota, girl? What's happening in South Dakota? What's the haps? Sarah is in here from Bluffton, South Carolina. Hey, girl. Carissa is in Waterloo, Iowa. Okay, I hear my phone dinging, and I don't know where I left it. I can't just get up from my live stream and go find my phone, but I hear it dinging for messages. Oh, my goodness. Amy's in West Hartford, Connecticut. Donna is in Guernsey Channel Island. Where is that, Donna? For those of us who aren't near you, I'm not familiar with that. Where's that at? Tanya's in Odenton, Maryland. Portia says, still in good old PG County, Maryland. That's my hometown area. On the Purple Couch is in Silver Spring, Maryland. Hey, Bahia. Diane is in Baltimore. Thank you for sharing it, Portia. Oh, okay. Afiba said SD is San Diego, now that's South Dakota. Because I was like, girl, what you doing over there? Thank you for correcting me. Sabrina in Canada, in Vancouver. Welcome, Canadian friends. Jennifer is in Florida. Afiba, she says she's doing a facial acupuncture class. Okay. My mommy's in here. Hey, mom. Ife Tayo White is in here from South Carolina, St. Helena Island. Well, welcome, everyone. There's some things that I wanted to talk to you about. I just decided, I woke up this morning and said, I'm going to do a live today. It wasn't really scheduled. So I threw an email together to let my folks know that, this is happening. By the way, if you're not on my email list, DM me. Send me a DM with your name and your email address so that I can keep you updated on all the different things that I'm doing, the specials that I'm having, the retreats that I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to be announcing another one of those soon, not today. So yeah, let me know. DM me. Don't put it in the comments, but send me in a DM. Okay. So today we want to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about energy vampires. We're going to talk about empaths. We're going to talk about saying yes before you're ready. So for those of you who are new to my page, first of all, welcome. I'm so happy to see your new faces. My name is Jamila White. I am a psychic medium. I am a life coach. I'm a transformational retreat leader, Reiki master, and now best-selling author of A Year of Self-Love Journal, 52 Weeks of Prompts and Practices for Loving Who You Are. Thank you to everyone who's been buying the book. People have been buying it, not just one at a time, but buying it 4 at a time, 6 at a time. I've had people buy 20 at a time to give to their whole team at work, to their sorors, to their besties, to their book clubs, giving away as holiday and birthday gifts. And I thank you, because that is why this book went to #1 in terms of Amazon new releases for December and January, and it's still doing really good. So thank you for that. Oh, hey, Diane says, tell Anike hello. Diane. Okay, I'll tell Anike. I'm going to see her probably today or tomorrow. Natalie's in Halifax, Canada. Sunny is in Detroit, Michigan. So Donna says the island that she mentioned is a little island between England and France. Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Thank you for joining us from all the way over there. I think it's like 4 or 5 in the afternoon over there right now. So good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Okay. So I want to talk about, first we're going to talk about saying yes before you're ready. Then we're going to talk about empaths and energy vampires, okay? Energy vampires and empaths. So the first thing I want to talk about in terms of saying yes is an opportunity fell in my lap just a couple days ago. So this great opportunity had already come a couple weeks ago, where I was invited by one of my business mentors, and some of you who are on my email list know about this, Leonie Dawson. She's an amazing entrepreneur, over $8 or $10 million in sales, working 10 hours a week with 2 part-time assistants who only work 10 hours a week, making all this money from down in Australia. She's one of my business heroes, and I follow her closely, and I've taken many of her courses. I'm also in her Brilliant Life, Brilliant Business Academy. And so she had a recent special, and I shared about that. And she asked for guest teachers for her academy in addition to what she's teaching. I said, hey, why not? I'll apply. I sent an email. Lo and behold, she selected me to teach a workshop. I was delighted. Oh my God! This scream that I scrumped when I read that. I happened to read that email like at 1 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, and just happened to be scrolling through, and I was like, wait, what? Because it just said, oh, we have these exciting guest speakers. And I was like, oh man, I guess I didn't make it. And I just was like, I was being nosy. So I was like, well, who did she pick? She didn't pick me. So I'm scrolling, and I was like, wait, that's my face. Wait, that's my name. I was like, what? So she chose me to be one of her guest teachers. And then it was scheduled for November. So I was like, I have more than 6 months to plan. When I say this is a big deal, she has a mailing list of 150,000 plus people. And there are more than 3,200 people in her academy. This is a big deal. And she's my hero. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she picked me. So I was like, okay, great. This is a huge opportunity. I have time. I'm in the middle of a website redesign and a rebrand and all this other stuff that I'm in the middle of. I was like, that gives me plenty of time to get everything lined up the way that I want and to prepare for this. Then I get this email that was like, hey, can you do it in April, like next week? Because we had a teacher who had to cancel or reschedule. And I was like, yes, I can. Let me tell you that yes felt like a knot in my stomach at first, because I was scared, y'all. I was just like, I'm not ready. My website is not ready. My materials are not ready, because I was going to have 6 months, to prepare for this at a very leisurely pace. And now I was like, I have 6 days because the class is this Wednesday coming. Today's Sunday. The class is Wednesday. So I really had to stretch outside my comfort zone. And the post that I wrote, which I shared on Facebook and also on Instagram, was about how you can say yes before you feel ready. Because the reality is, if something big happens, that's a manifestation, even if it's what you prayed for and manifested when it shows up. And this could be, in my case, it was a big business opportunity, but this could, for you, could be a job offer or promotion. It could be a leadership role. It could be your soulmate suddenly shows up, the love of your life, and you're like, I'm not ready. I have all these other things going on, and I'm still working on myself. All of that. It could be you're pregnant and now the baby pangs are coming, the labor pangs are coming, and you're like, wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But you can't stuff the baby back up in there, right? Because the baby's coming. This is about saying yes before you feel like you're ready. And what I decided for myself was that I want to be the kind of person who dreams big and then shows up when the vision manifests. I want to be the kind of person who is a trailblazer and a visionary and has an impact on other people. And I can't do that if other people don't actually get to see me doing my work because I said, oh no, I'm not ready. How many times have we collectively, me individually, you individually, said no to something because you didn't feel like you were ready? And what I mean by not feeling ready is not feeling good enough, not feeling prepared enough, and said no, and then watched your opportunity just kind of wither away. It's not a good feeling. It's not. Oh, hey, Asake, and hey, Misha from New Orleans, also known as Wealth Magic, one of my girls from New Orleans, and Reiki practitioners. So I wrote a post about how everything that we want is outside of our comfort zone, not inside of our comfort zone. And if we're not feeling stretched on some level, then we're really just playing it safe. And that's okay if that's the kind of life that you want, is a safe, quiet life where you stay in your box and don't make any waves. And that's totally okay if that's who you are and what you want to do. But that's not me. I know that I was put on this earth to do certain things, and I can't do that if I just kind of hide, right? So I said yes, and now it's like, it is interesting because the way that this opportunity presented itself, which is also part of this eclipse season, because eclipses, there is a new moon lunar eclipse next week, and we're already feeling that energy. And then there's a solar eclipse coming in a couple of weeks after that. Eclipses bring news out of the book, big news that you can't really plan ahead for, right? And so you have to respond and adjust. For me, it was this opportunity. For you, it might be something else. In the end, though, the eclipse always works for your benefit, even if you're uncomfortable. And so in this case, I thought I had 6 months, and it was already going to be a big deal at 6 months. But in 6 days, it was like, oh, shoot, I'm not going to have time to finish my website and fix my brand. I don't have time. If the universe said, hey, you have a month, then I will be doing that. The universe was like, you don't have time, just do it. And so basically the universe was saying, you don't have to do anything else other than, putting a little bit of information on your page. You don't have to do any more. What you know is enough. What you have is enough. Who you are is enough. Stand on that and lean on me. And that's all that you need. And I had to kind of, take some deep breaths. I'm not even gonna front, because initially I tried to do all the things and I'm like, it's not possible to completely overhaul my whole website in the next 6 days, plus create this class. So, we just had a big gust of wind and just slammed my door. Okay, that's the universe saying yes. So I just, I wanted to share that with you because there were so many comments on that Facebook post that it really resonated. And I want to know from you, have there ever been a time where you said yes before you were ready, and what happened? Or is there a time where you said no and then you regretted it because you saw somebody who was no more prepared than you go ahead and do what you wanted to do? For me, one of my greatest fears is regret. I fear regret more than I fear just about anything else in life. And so I would rather try something and fail than to look at my life, be like, oh, I could have done that. Oh, I should have done that, but I didn't. That's just not me, y'all. So Tamara Ross is in here. She says she has a question. What did you do if you were stuck and safe and something more? What do you do if you are stuck and safe and something more? What do you mean if you're stuck and safe and something more? Help me out with that. Do you mean like you're stuck in just trying to feel safe? If that's the case, you just have to go ahead and say yes. And if an opportunity doesn't come, you make an opportunity by taking one step, one small action in the direction of your dream, in the direction of your desire. Take one step. You don't have to worry about the entire blueprint, the entire plan, every step. You just take one step. So maybe if you're stuck, you take one step. Also, change up your daily routine. It will help you, it will activate the parts of your brain that have gotten comfortable and quiet and into a fresh new way of thinking. If you normally get up, pee first, brush your teeth, then get in the shower, then change the order of that. Like take a different way home from work or school or picking up your kids. Change some furniture around, change up some recipes. So getting unstuck, one of it is being willing to say yes, being willing to look for the opportunities instead of looking for the limitations and looking for other reasons to say no. Look for the reason to say yes. If you don't see one, create one. And don't worry about all of the things. Just take one step. You're wanting to start a new business, start researching the industry. That's one step. Or make a phone call. Better than research. Make a phone call, send an email, reach out to someone. If you're wanting to call in a relationship, wear some cute outfits and go to a new place. And when I say cute outfits, it's not to impress someone else, but wear something that you feel good in, because that energy of I feel good about myself actually broadcasts, and it attracts a different kind of person than going out saying I don't feel good about myself. That attracts a person who's going to help you not feel better. Whatever you are is what you're going to attract, and they're going to bring more of that energy to you. And if people say yes, and all this during Mercury retrograde, girlfriend, Mercury eclipses and all of the things. So Tamara, I'm hoping you'll update us with the question. Gigi times 3 is in Baltimore. Hello. Sarah says yes. Oh, Gigi, you're Kelly Simmons. Y'all crack me up with these usernames that don't sound nothing like your actual names. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there's some spam in the comments, but that's okay. Layla says yes. Yes. So if you have I want to know about a time that you said yes, or you were scared to say yes, or something that you're scared to say yes to right now, because these eclipses be eclipsing. I also know even if I didn't know about astrology, and I follow the major things, I don't know everything about astrology. I know when something is up because all of my clients will start calling at the same time, like, oh no, this is something happening. And this week, my phone has been blowing up. Somebody lost their job, somebody left a relationship, somebody had a huge spiritual awakening, epiphany. So I want to hear from you. What's going on? Is something coming up for you that's come out of the clear blue? Put something in the comments. Put something in the comments. Okay. So what can you say yes to today? What can you say yes to today that will move you forward or will get you unstuck? What can you say yes to today? Okay, Mom, that's a good one. Mom said going to massage school at 51 years old. Okay, Mom just turned 78, and she's like one of the healthiest, most vibrant, most joyful people I know. You could tell from her picture, right? But she said she decided to go to massage school at age 51, which was a total change in career. So you're never too old to do anything. Just point yourself in the direction. Point yourself in the direction. Wakita, also known as Takiwan, says, can say yes to decluttering my office. Yes, because clutter is an energy leak. We're going to talk about energy leaks a little bit more too, especially for people who are energy sensitive. Clutter is an energy leak. Multitasking is an energy leak. And then we're going to talk about the toxic people or non-toxic people with a toxic connection who are energy vampires. So let's go ahead into that. Afiba said, moving into becoming a doctor now that I finished school, opening my practice. Yes, saying yes. Thank you for that. Layla said saying yes to more self-care. Misha, also known as Wealth Magic, saying yes to coming back home to New Orleans. Nola, well, I thought it was clear. Now it's become very unclear. So, okay, what do you do when you think something was clear, now it's suddenly unclear? You lean into your curiosity. First, you get still and ground yourself, because no matter what happens, whether everything happens or nothing happens, if you're not grounded, that's not going to feel good, right? So ground yourself, breathe, have some kind of self-care practice, whether it's breathing, meditation, prayer, journaling, yoga, exercise, whatever you do first thing in the morning. And if you don't have a morning practice, I strongly encourage you to get one, because these times we're in, if you don't start your day grounded, your energy is just going to be all over the place and you're going to feel like you're just floating in the breeze. And if you need help with a self-care grounding practice, shameless plug for my book, which you can get on Amazon, A Year of Self-Love Journal. Asake said yes to walking for 2 months. Wealth Magic says for business purposes, but okay. So going back to what do you do if you feel unclear, is lean into the uncertainty and get curious instead of just getting frustrated and panicking like, oh no, this isn't what I planned. Oh no, this isn't what I expected. Treat it like a book, plot twist, and lean into the, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. This didn't happen like what I thought. And if you need to cry it out, grieve it out, scream it out, it's okay to grieve what you thought was going to happen. That's totally okay. Be in your feelings, but don't stay in your feelings, right? Move through the feelings. But get curious. Okay, what's next? Or what are my options here? Get curious and lean into the curiosity. Afiba says, me too. My mom made changes at 57, now 61. Yep. Sarah says, starting midwifery school at 40, not thinking I can do it, and here I am 5 years later in a full solo practice. Whoop, whoop. She also goes on to say, now there's a little fear of really growing my business. That's normal. I have fear all the time of growing my business, and I've been in business for, I don't know, 27 years, 25 years. I've lost count. I started full-time in 1997. You do the math. So it was January 1st is when I went full-time, 1997. Vita said yes to retiring. Portia said saying yes to a near career adventure. I don't know what's coming, but it's big and I'm ready for it. I have released the quote stagnant and uncomfortable and trusting the universe. Yes. Yes. Vita says also saying yes to a new business venture. Gigi times 3. I've been trying to write a book. I don't know how to get started. I have a great title and content. My neighbor is a coach writer and I gave her a deposit to help with the project. Now my funds are low. Don't worry about your funds, worry about your energy. If you feel like you have a time management problem, you have an energy management problem. If you feel like you have a cash flow problem, you have an energy flow problem. Money is never the problem. Money is just energy. So money can be the symptom of a bigger issue, such as lack, thinking, or struggle, or systematic stuff like oppression that's lowering your energy. But money is just energy. That's why we call it currency. So get unstuck and watch the money flow. Same with getting curious about your uncertainty. Tanya said Friday said yes to a powerhouse CEO. Oh, I lost it off my screen. Of a business incubator to supercharge and digitize one of my classes for free, but I have 1 week to schedule, record, and send footage to her. Girl, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now about this 1 week to step up and into a major opportunity. Yes. Girl, but I know you and you got this. Okay. Let's see who else is in here. Kelly says saying yes to reading cards for others and doing it more often. Honey, that was one of my biggest, scariest things. I never set out to be a professional psychic. So when another person asked me for a reading, I was like, I don't do readings. What are you talking about? Well, actually, a friend of mine told her cousin that I did readings. This was 2010, 2011. And I was just like, well, I don't do readings. She was like, yes, you do. And I was like, not for other people, just for me. And occasionally I'll get a message for a friend. And that was how the entree into me actually using my intuition to help other people. But I feel you on the fear, but you just lean into it. Just lean into it and just be like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. Treat everything like an experiment. I'm going to give this a try. See how it goes. I don't have to do it for forever. Let's just give it a try. See how it goes. If I don't like it, do something else. Okay, so if that resonates with you of leaning into the fear, drop a heart in the chat. Drop a heart. So I want to know. Oh, we got 63 people in here. This is awesome between Facebook and YouTube. That's great for like a impromptu live that I didn't plan ahead of time. So, okay, Tamara Ross, clarification, saying yes to self-worth. Yes to healing my inner child. This is where I'm stuck at the moment. This is all new to me. Okay, so you didn't get into this place where your inner child got wounded overnight. So it's okay if you take the pressure off of yourself to heal everything overnight. Just lean into it. Just saying, okay, what does my inner child want? Journaling is a really beautiful practice for introspection. There's actually some questions in my book about what does your inner child want? Again, shameless plug for my book. Also, the help of a great therapist or a therapy support group could be great. This is a new journey for you. If you've been living in a place where you haven't believed in yourself, haven't loved yourself, then journeying into self love, journeying into self worth, journeying into self esteem is going to feel new. And just like anything that feels new, it can feel weird. It can feel scary. It can feel intimidating at first. But the more you do something, the easier it gets. Also, the antidote to fear isn't research. The antidote to fear is action. Taking an action is what makes the fear go away. And sometimes you will feel afraid doing the action, but the more you do the action, the more you take a step in the direction of your dream, step in the direction of self love, the easier it gets, or the less fearful it gets, gradually and gradually until it becomes second nature to you. That's how we form a new habit that is loving to ourselves. There was a time where you could not walk and it was scary to take a step, like physically could not walk, didn't know how to walk, didn't have any balance, didn't have any muscle strength, didn't have any coordination, and you fell a bunch of times. Now, most likely, you pretty much walk without thinking. You probably have years and years of practice of walking, most likely. Don't think about it. But there was a point in your journey where it was the unthinkable. There was a point in your journey where reading and writing was unthinkable. It's like all these letters and all these symbols, and then slowly you learn the alphabet and slowly you learn how to write your name. And now you just be reading words all the time without thinking of it. So it's the same thing. Anything that you are practiced in becomes easier. And right now, many of us are well practiced in thinking small, well practiced in being fearful, well practiced in being unloving towards ourselves. So this isn't a judgment, it's an awareness. And if we have a practice of one thing, we can create a practice doing something else. Paula said, hold your book up again. Yes, ma'am. A Year of Self-Love Journal, 52 Weeks of Prompts and Practices for Loving Who You Are by Jamila I. White. That is me. It is available on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, Walmart.com, Target.com, many independent bookstores, many book chains. I love when people spot my book in a bookstore and they take a picture and they post it on social media and tag me. It is so fun. I get to see my book all over the country, or they take my book somewhere and they take a picture of themselves journaling. My book has been all over the world. People sending in the pictures. If you have the book, take a picture and please hashtag it. I'll put the hashtag in the chat with A Year of Self-Love Journal. I'll put that in the chat. Hopefully you can see that. I'll put it on the screen too, so you can see it. Put something on the screen. Okay, it should be showing on the screen now. A Year of Self-Love Journal. Okay. All right. So I want to talk a little bit. Oh, PJ McGuire says, I have the book. It's fantastic. Thank you. Hey, Vanessa. Thank you, my love. You look beautiful too. Seeing you with my third eye and your picture. Sabrina says, I'm saying yes to loving and caring for my inner child every morning from this day forward. That's awesome. Oh, Sarah, thank you for posting the URL to my book and Amazon in the comments. That's the link. Or you can just Google it. Okay, I gotta take a bite. I'm hungry, y'all. I didn't finish eating my breakfast. Avocado toast. Sorry, so I'm talking with my mouth full, which I know my mom is getting a kick out of right now, because she's always talking to me while she's eating, and I'm like, why are you eating in my ear? Okay, so Vanessa says I need to do that. Paula says she took a screenshot of me holding up the book. Get the book. Oh, Peace and Love says she started Busboys and Poets in the DC area. Thank you. Tamara says, thank you. My life coach is helping me to accept my inner child and not be embarrassed by her. And lately I can't stop crying. That's okay. Crying is a release. It's better that the tears are coming up and out than being suppressed and held inside where they can become toxic, not just to your spirit, but to your body. To your body. Okay. Unexpressed emotions become toxic in our body. Hey, Dion, my cyber goof twin. Jamila Nicole is in the house. If you just joined the chat, please hit the share button. Let everybody else know where you're at so they can also join our conversation. And then drop in the comments where you're connecting from. I want to know, where in the world are you? I'm in Barbados. I'm in Durance, Barbados, at my home right now. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about empaths. We're going to talk about what is an empath. Are you an empath? And we're also going to talk about my new course about empaths. I'm going to give you all a special deal today. You know how I do. You know how I do. Jamila Nicole is in Charleston, South Carolina. Tamara Ross is in Tampa. Kathy B is in Beaufort, South Carolina. Vanessa said, this is so relevant. I needed this today. I'm glad. Thank you. PJ McGuire says, I'm in Chicago. What's up, Chicago? Chi-Town in the house. Dion, I'm in Northeast Ohio. Girl, stay. You in Cleveland. Near Cleveland. Near Cleveland. For you, those of you who are putting in your location, we have an international audience. So don't just say your town, say your city and state or your country, so we know where that is, so we know where in the world you are. I know where Beaufort, South Carolina is because I used to live near there. So we're going to talk about empaths, and then we're going to talk about energy vampires. Okay, so what is an empath? Are you an empath? Are you an empath? Tina says she's in Sebastopol, California. I hope I'm saying that right. Well, welcome, Tina. So an empath, how many of you in here are empaths and know that you're an empath? If you're an empath and you know it, clap your hands like a show it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, if you're an empath, type a 5 and put a 5 in the chat. That just gives me time to eat some more avocado toast and some turkey bacon. Vanessa's in my old stomping grounds in Bowie, Maryland. Tanya says, yep. Bayou Physical is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge. Look at all these 5s. 5. Hey, Taniqua. She said, hungry, 5. Okay, it's a lot of you. 5. Akeisha, 5. Carissa, 5. Sarah said, girl, get your eat on. We're grateful to have space this morning. Girl, thank you. I kind of just ran out of time before I scheduled the live. And my turkey bacon was still cooking. I was like, ooh. Hey, Siba. Valerie's here. Tina says 5. 5 means you know you're an empath. Okay, if you're not sure if you're an empath, type a 3. Because that will help me understand how much time to spend on the topic. If you're not sure if you're an empath, type a 3. And if you don't know what an empath is, type an 8. So right now I'm just seeing 5s. 5 if you know you're an empath. 3 if you think you might be an empath but not sure. 8 if you've never known what an empath was and have no idea what I'm talking about. Tanya said, I didn't know until you told me I was. Yep, I remember that. Okay, so most people know what an empath is, so I'll explain very briefly. Hey, Jay Davis. TKW says 3, maybe. Okay. Kali says 5. Okay, Kali. Karen says 5. Vita says 3. Type an 8 if you have no idea what I'm talking about. A 3 if you're not sure if you're an empath. And 5 if you know you're an empath. Don't type anything if you're driving. Thank you. Okay, so what's an empath? An empath is a person who picks up on the vibes. If you pick up on vibes of people, places, situations, if you walk in a room and like, energy is funky in here, you're an empath. If you often say, I don't know what they say about that person, I just go off of vibes and I like that person, you're probably an empath. Gigi says 8. Okay. So empath is a form of sensitivity where you pick up on the energy of people, places, and situations. Now that sounds more complicated, but basically it's just vibes. It's vibes. Do you pick up on vibes? That is a yes. That doesn't necessarily mean intuitive, but just energy sensitive. Okay. Intuitive is I have a knowing. Either I saw something or I heard something intuitively, or I just somehow I knew. That's intuition. Empath is energy sensitivity. And a lot of times people who have one have the other. So there's overlap there, but it's two different functions. Okay. Carmen says 5. Solana says 5. Carissa says, I pick up on vibes, just uncertain how to interpret them. Yes. TKW says, I just want you to know you look radiant. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday to all the Aries. Jamila Nicole says, my grandparents used to be like, you always talk about vibe. Girl, you're an empath. Okay, so that's what an empath is. And some of the things that happen with empaths can be, here's another way that you easily can feel overwhelmed or overstimulated. Sometimes areas with large crowds make you feel exhausted, like airports, large concerts. Not always, okay? There's also some overlap between being an empath and being an introvert. Two different things. They can overlap. An empath is sensitive to the vibes of people, places, and situations, and animals and anything else, just picking up on the vibes of things and beings. And an introvert versus an extrovert. So introvert, extrovert has nothing to do with whether you're shy or not, or whether you're an empath or not. Being an introvert versus an extrovert is about where you get your energy. So an extrovert gets their energy. They feel recharged by being around other people. That they feel low, they go connect with other people, they feel boosted up. Introverts get their energy from their solo time. So they go around other people, then they have to pull back and recharge their battery, usually by themselves or with their like immediate family or besties, right? So introvert, extrovert isn't about being social or being shy. It's where you get your energy. So you can be an empath and an introvert. You can be an empath and an extrovert. But there's a lot of overlap between introverts and empaths, and there's a lot of overlap between empaths and intuitives. But you see that there's 3 different functions, but you may be all of them, or none of them, or 1 or 2 of them. But the empath part is about being energy sensitive. Okay. Another way that you may be an empath is you're the go-to person in your friend group where somebody has a problem and they need a good a shoulder to lean on, or they need someone to listen to them. You're probably an empath. An empath often has a very compassionate nature, sometimes even a very healing energy, whether you work in a healing profession or not, that other people are drawn to. So they're coming to you versus the other person because you're a more compassionate, empathic, sympathetic person. That often is a sign that you're an empath. But as a result, an empath who doesn't have strong boundaries can also be the dumping ground for everyone and their problems. An empath who is not grounded and empowered may also be on a fix and rescue mission with all of their friends and their problems and their strangers and the co-workers and their relationships, and doing all the fixing for people, and sometimes being to the extreme, being codependent. So the mantra I always say for empaths who are in relationship or dating is partners, not projects. You don't want to fix a project where you're looking for someone who is going to need you as a way of being in relationship. Needing and wanting is 2 different things. You want someone who's there because they want to be there, not just because you're doing all the things for them and fixing everything for them, especially if you're grown and they're grown. Yeah, Portia said it's exhausting. Jamila Nicole says, my son is an empath and I'm doing the best I can to teach him boundaries. Now he's 10. That's excellent. Also, it's important for empaths to understand because we pick up things. And here's the thing about being an empath. It's not just that you pick up things. A lot of times you pick up the vibes as if they are your own versus I know that I'm picking up something from this person or from this group of people. It's like, oh, I feel tired. Oh, I feel irritated. Oh, I feel afraid and anxious. And it's not, oh, I'm feeling James's anxiousness. It's I feel anxious. You can also be a physical empath. It's like my leg hurts because my friend's leg hurts. A lot of times people very close to each other in close relationships can be physical empaths, i.e. a man who is getting morning sickness because his pregnant wife or girlfriend or partner is getting morning sickness with her pregnancy. That's an empath thing. He doesn't have any hormonal change that's causing that. There's nothing growing in his belly that's pressing against all his organs. That's an empath response. Okay. So we all are empathic to a certain degree, but if you're an empath, so one of the things I mentioned, you pick up on the vibes, you are compassionate, you may even be a healer or have a healing, soothing effect on other people. The key to that is having the boundaries, and the key to that is observe, don't absorb, because empaths can be like sponges and picking up and holding all the emotions and all the vibes of other people without even realizing it. And it can feel very heavy, which is one of the reasons why people feel exhausted if they're empaths, exhausted and overwhelmed. Who in here feels exhausted or overwhelmed? Type of 1. Carissa says, my brother hit his gut on the side of the table and I felt like it happened to me. Yep, empath. Absolute empath. But it's not just physical. Some people don't have the physical side of empath sensitivity. It can be emotional. And most of the times it's emotional, where I'm picking up on the vibes. Type of 1, if you feel exhausted or overwhelmed, look at all these ones. In part because empaths don't know how to manage their energy. There's no class or school for that I just created one, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But yes, empaths, 1. So I have a new class, and I'm going to tell you guys more about it at the end, but it is called Empath Energy Reset. It is 6 weeks, live class with me, live. With replays, but it's a live class with me to help you understand your empath sensitivity, to manage the overwhelm and the overstimulation and exhaustion, and turn that sensitivity into your superpower. So it is how to manage your empath energy, which is the class I've been wanting to create for years. It's the class I wish I took when I was younger. It's a class I wish I took 5 years ago, but it didn't exist. 11111. Afiba says emotionally and physically. Peace of Love says 1. Carmen Anderson says 1. Akeisha said, I was tired, boss. Oh, Gigi says 1. Jennifer says 1 sometimes. Hey, lady. Good to see you. Jennifer, where are you these days? Are you still out and about abroad, or are you back stateside? So from an empath standpoint, how do you manage the energy? First of all, how to identify what are the energy leaks? I mean, some of them are obvious, but it's usually when you're leaking energy, it's not just like one big thing that's draining all your energy. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's a lot of little things that turn into energy leaks that so a lot of times when we experience this, when we feel more drained, because that is a symptom of an energy overload or energy leak, when you feel drained, what we tend to do is like, I need more self-care, I need more rest. And those are good things. Those are good practices. But until you plug the leaks, pouring more energy in, it's just going to fall right back out the bottom. So you have to learn strategies. You have to learn tools and techniques to manage your energy so that you're not constantly leaking energy. Okay. So that you can feel empowered and vibrant and have vitality energetically, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Think about it. Like right now, what could you do? Oh, Jennifer says she's back in Florida. Okay. What could you do right now that you don't have the energy to do that? If I had more energy, I would do this, or I would be this. Put it in the chat. If I had more energy, I would do or be this. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to eat some more avocado toast and turkey bacon while you're putting it in the chat. Who could you be and what could you do if you had more energy that you're currently too exhausted and overwhelmed to do or be? Sake said, create more art. Mm-hmm. Jamila Nicole says, if I had more energy, I'd use it to push further in my business. Afiba says, organize your apartment in preparation to move. Nancy said, see loved ones. So your exhaustion is impacting your relationships. Carissa said, join the circus in aerial art. All right. Shaniqua, right, decorate my home. Kelly Snyder, unpack my house I just moved into. Treat more patients, says Cynthia. Sarah says, write one of the 10 books I have in me. Keisha said, spring cleaning. Okay, so most of those are, this is what I would do right now. What would you do if you always had more energy in your life? Not just this weekend, this week, this month. What would you do? Portia said, celebrate myself more. Mm-hmm. So you being exhausted is affecting your self-love. Jennifer said, more organized clutter. Sabina says, do my art. TKW, develop a plan to leave my 9 to 5 and work for myself. Jamila said, get back in shape. Post more to get myself out there. You mean like social media? Carissa said, practice yoga. Afiba, travel and self-care. Kelly, open my metaphysical shop sooner than 10 years. Yes, girl, yes. Peace and love. I said, get more stuff done in my life in general. Be specific. What does get more stuff done mean? And who would you be if this was your everyday life? If you could plug all the energy leaks, the things and the people that drain you, if you had techniques to do that, tools to do that, confidence to do that, what would shift for you? What would shift for you? Valerie said, experience the fullness of happiness within. Dion said, be independently wealthy. So you being tired and exhausted is costing you money. Okay, that's real. Carissa said, I have more confidence. Carissa, I'm curious, what is not having the confidence or this level of confidence costing you? What is it costing you to not have the confidence? Valerie, what is it costing you to not have the fullness of happiness? Gigi, what is it costing you to not write your book? Sarah, what is it costing you to not write your book? Kelly, what is it costing you to not open that metaphysical store? Dion said, girl. Dion, what's it costing you not to be independently wealthy? What's it preventing you from doing? What's exhaustion preventing you from doing? Independently wealthy so that you can what? Carissa said, I spend more time taking care of others than myself. We got to change that immediately. You can't pour from an empty cup. What's in the cup is for you. You pour from your overflow. And if you don't have overflow, your first priority is to fill up the cup. That's you. Vanessa says, half life. Sarah says, woo. Sarah, what's it costing you to not have those books out in the world? What's it costing you and what's it costing the world? What is the world not getting because you're keeping your books to yourself? A lot of people says taking care of others. Jill said, I feel emotions of animals. I felt the dynamics of my patients' families more than the social workers and doctors. Definitely an empath. Kelly said she's working with the town to do it. This is to open your store. I have to deal with small-minded people, so banishing negativity would help. Gigi said lack of energy. What is lack of energy costing you, Gigi? If you had more energy, Gigi, what would you do? Dion says, so I can have time to travel and retire from the independent contractor life. Okay, so exhaustion and overwhelm is keeping you from traveling, retiring from independent contractor life. Sarah says, if she doesn't get her books out, lots of much needed info for them, the world, and passive income and a release for me. So you're cheating yourself out of passive income, and you're cheating people of the world from much needed info that would help them change their lives. So there's a need here because empaths have so much to give the world, so much to give the world, right? But when we're tired and exhausted, we can't give anybody shit. Yeah, I said it. I forgot to give my disclaimer at the beginning of this live stream. I'm a cuss sometimes. Okay, so if you had the tools to not be overwhelmed and to manage your energy sensitivity, who could you be? That's my next question for you. Who could you be if you had the tools? If exhaustion and overwhelm was not an issue, who could you be in the world and to yourself? Who could you be? Welcome, new watchers. If you just joined, hit the share button and please type in where you're connecting from, city, state, and or country. Gigi says, I have 3 grandsons, 4-year-old and 1-year-old twins. Yes. Jill says, yes, yes, yes. Peace and love, organized. Being organized would allow her to spend more time having fun with our daughter and myself. Jill said, a published poet. Carissa said, an artist. Jamila Nicole says, truth, can't even make these vending events being so tired. Okay, so you need tools. You need tools. That's what I'm hearing is everybody needs tools to manage this energy overwhelm. Lynette is in Seattle. Welcome. Okay, Sarah got really real. So let's just give some love to Sarah for sharing this and being vulnerable. The truth is the thought of who I could be is scary because I can feel how big it could be and I'm fighting the imposter syndrome. Who felt that? If you felt that, type Sarah in the chat with a heart. Type the word Sarah with a heart so she can see that you have some support for her for sharing that and being vulnerable with us today. Thank you, Sarah. That's real. Afiba said if she could plug the energy leaks, she would be a world leader in natural medicine. Yes. Dion says, I'm launching my program this week and the energy I feel is so fantastic. I'm excited to share the gifts with my world. Yes, with the world. Portia said, I can and will be the woman I'm meant to be a better healer and voice for animals. Girl, I know that. I know that's right. Kelly said her shop, which would be called Libera, would help you feel like when you walk in, it would bring you great peace and comfort and offering you all your needs. Hey, Zoe, where are you calling from? Lynette should be a working holistic nurse coach. Ooh, that's great. Keisha said, I'd be a glowing earth angel, sprinkling love and healing wherever I go. I love it. Look at all this love in here for Sarah. Valerie says, it's costing me a lot of relational wealth. All this love in here for Sarah. Gigi says, a successful book on New York's bestsellers list and a retired traveler. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, look at all this love for you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah. I think a lot of people really resonated with what Sarah shared about it's safer sometimes to not step into what we were called to be, not step into the bigness of our vision and our purpose. And also, it's scary to step out of the narrative that other people have created for us about who we're allowed to be. Like being who you truly are and stepping into that, it's gonna piss some people off. It's gonna make some people feel uncomfortable because you're not who they want you to be, and you stayed instead of staying in a space where you were serving a purpose to them that you no longer serve when you're bigger. And sometimes when you step into your purpose, it can make people around you uncomfortable if they're not stepping in their purpose, because every time they look at you, even if you're just minding your own business, they're reminded that they're not doing what they were called to do, and then they'll take it out on you sometimes if they're not healed and balanced. Okay, but that's real. But when you step into your purpose, into your authenticity, you attract other new people who are purposeful and authentic. And it makes it that much more safer for other people to step into their authenticity, into their dream, into their vision, into their purpose. Me being on a live talking about my insecurities, about not feeling ready, and talking about my purpose might make it safer for you all. Sarah sharing about how she feels some imposter syndrome might make somebody else feel like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. Their shame requires darkness to exist. And if you cast something into a light, it gets healed. Telling the truth is healing. Look at all this love for Sarah. Allie said I'd be a smiling light that would help share secrets of the oceans with the world. Ooh, that's beautiful. Jamila Nicole said I'd be a stable source of inspiration and space for those wanting to get back to their spiritual self and self-care, the healer. Zoe's in Virginia. Hey. Omi, I'm so glad you're talking about it in this way. One thing I'm always saying to clients is that being an empath doesn't mean hiding under a rock and exhausting yourself. Girl, say that. Say that, Omi. And I know Omi personally as a healer and an empath. And sometimes if we don't know how to manage our energy, then we retreat from the world and it ends up cheating ourselves out of the experience of connecting with those who we're meant to connect with. It doesn't have to be everyone. Sometimes having a big impact in the world doesn't mean talking to thousands of people. Sometimes it means having a big impact on one person or two people. It's not always about quantity, it's about the quality of the interaction. But if you are an empath who doesn't have tools, then everything feels overwhelming. Sharing feels overwhelming because people latch on and then they become energy vampires, which we're about to talk about in a second, right? And then you're just tired all the time. So you want to hide under a rock, you want to withdraw, you want to not share, because every time you share, you come back tired. Oh, look, it's still all this love for Sarah. Gigi says, breast cancer survivor, 3 years remission, and I know my book is the key to my success. Yes, yes. Vanessa, my oldest friend, just called me out last week on not starting the business I want to start because I'm scared. Your old friend is a good friend. Self-sabotage is real, is what Wealth Magic says. Okay, so it's okay to be scared-sighted, which is scared and a little excited. Learning empathic tools shifts everything in your life. Yes, yes, yes. Aligning with ease. Akeisha says, we feel this because we are this. Shout out to each of us aligning with ease. Yes, yes, yes. Amy says, to be honest, I don't know. I feel the universe is just telling me to be quiet and relax now and listen for what is next. Trust that. Trust that. There's a difference from pausing to wait for further instruction and tuning in to your guidance versus hiding. On the outside, they might look the same where the person's not very visible, right? On the outside, but the energy is different. The energy of hiding has a very specific energy. And if you're hiding, you know who you are, because I'm calling you on your bullshit right now. There's a time to be still and to listen for guidance, to tune in for guidance. And then there's a time when I know what the next step is. I just don't want to take it. So I'm going to pretend like I need to do more research because I don't have clarity. I need more information. We know that's bullshit. You don't need more information to take the next step. You don't do it. Do the damn thing. We know what it is. So being an empath is about managing this energy, or else you will feel tired, or else you will feel drained. Like a lot of times when people understand that I've been a professional psychic full time for 10 years now, and I've done thousands of readings, they're like, oh my God, how did you learn how to do that? And I'm like, the intuition part actually came easy. It was learning how to manage my energy was the greatest lesson of them all. And the healing and the clearing that I needed to do in order to show up as a vessel for my clients without taking on all of their shit. Because all day, every day, I am walking around intimately all up in people's energy. I had to learn practices that I didn't have when I started out, to prevent that from weighing on me and from sticking on me and from taking me under, while I was also dealing with my own stuff, right? Jamila Nicole says, ha ha, that's me. I quote unquote, I need more research. Yep. Wealth Magic said, read me my rights. Whew. Okay, so if this resonates with you, this part about hiding or withholding, drop a heart in the comments. Drop a heart. Any color, I don't care. So if you are interested in my class, we start on April 30th. I will walk you through the practices, the tools of dealing with energy vampires, of managing your own energy, of creating boundaries, of being discerning about what's actually yours versus what belongs to someone else. I'll put this in the chat. I'll put the link. Now for 6 weeks, the class is going to be $333, but because it's the first time I'm offering it, I'm going to do it for $247. And if you do it today, if you register, I'm going to do an early bird discount of $188. Ooh, that's more than half off. Or it's about half off. And put it in the chat. Empath energy. As I said, for the first 10 people, I said the first 11 people will get that $188 discount. That's what I said to myself before. But I know that there's going to be a couple of people watching on the replay who didn't get the memo that I was doing the live, and I want them to be able to have it. So I am going to allow that for today, but there's a special for the first people that you can see it on my screen. Bit.ly Empath Energy Reset. Okay. So if you know that this is what you need, if you are ready to step into the fullness of yourself without feeling exhausted all the time. The thing about being an empath and having energy leaks is the majority of the time you're so used to being tired that you don't know what it feels like to not be tired, and it's become normal for you. And it's until you start plugging the leaks and you start getting your energy back, then you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I could feel like this, right? Because you just think you need another nap. You need more than a nap. You need tools because you're constantly leaking this energy in the form of lack of confidence, in the form of clutter, in the form of multitasking, in the form of not having healthy boundaries, in the form of energy vampires and parasites and psychic cords. I'm going to teach you how to deal with all of that so that you can then fill up your cup empathically. Now, granted, there are going to be some things in your life that don't have a quick fix. There's no quick fix for grief. Okay, that's different than an energy drain. Grief, you just have to feel your emotions. But if you have grief and on top of that you have energy leaks, then you're just going to sink low, 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 and you don't need that. So if you are, and if you did sign up for the class, put it in the chat because I left my phone on the other side of the room, so I can't see the alerts coming in. Well, thank you, hon. May you be blessed too. I appreciate that. I always receive and I'm grateful for prayers and blessings. I don't care what your religion is. If you're sending me positive vibes, I will receive it. So let's talk about, does anybody have questions about being an empath or energy leaks? Oh, okay. So she said, is this a similar class to the one I did back in 2019 with the Claires? No, that was about understanding your intuition. This is about managing your empath energy. Now, there may be some self-care tools or that overlap with that, but this is a different animal. Whole different, completely new class that I have never taught before. I did a little mini class on it in South Carolina in January for self-love for empaths, but this is a completely different class. Vita says, if you will it still reset if you aren't a total empath? Vita, what does not a total empath mean? You're either empath or you're not. It's like if you're either pregnant or you're not. Now, there's levels of intensity. But if you said that you have energy leaks and you're feeling drained and overwhelmed because of your empath energy, then yes. If you don't have all of the energetic and emotional vitality, then you could use some tools. And here's the thing about self-care and tools. A lot of times people are, what I'm hearing over the last year and what I've experienced and what I've experienced with my colleagues and my clients is people are saying that the things I used to do for self-care don't seem to work anymore. They don't work the same anymore. And I feel like I have to do more just to stay even. Does anybody relate to that? Type 5. Oh, buy you physical. You have to enter in a code, a coupon code to get the special rate. Type in empath 188. That is the coupon code to get the special rate if you're trying to register. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, empath 188. Carissa said, how many days and hours is the class? Okay, there's 6 live sessions. That's 12 live hours. Plus you get worksheets, plus you get downloads for guided meditations, plus there's a private online community and a whole bunch of other bonuses that go with that. Everything is recorded. It's actually a self-study pace for the course, but I'm going to be doing weekly live classes to help support you and do Q&A. So even if you don't do it every week, as long as you're making progress, you have unlimited access to the class for a minimum of a year if you sign up. So if you don't finish it on the same schedule as when we end, if you want to go back and replay, if you can't make a live class, because most of the classes will be on a Wednesday night, Eastern time, 7:30 Eastern time. There's a couple that are on a Saturday or a Sunday. If you miss a class, it's no big deal. There'll be a replay and there'll be a private area where you can log in and get all of your class materials. And you'll have access to that, unlimited access to that for a minimum of a year. Plus, you'll be in the forum when we'll be having our private discussions. Okay, there was a couple other questions. Let me pick this up here. Oh, Alice is being an empath within an intimate relationship. Oh my God, that's such a good question, because if you're in close, in an intimate energy, intimate emotion, intimate physical, you can very easily get your energy all mixed up with another person. So it's crucial to have boundaries, because what you want in an intimate relationship, in a healthy intimate relationship, is a healthy connection. What you don't want is to get your energy lost inside another person. And for empaths, one of the ways that they know that they're an empath is without boundaries, is when they get in relationships, sometimes, especially if they're young and don't have the life experience yet, they lose themselves in a relationship with another person. They lose themselves. The object isn't to lose yourself. It should be 1 + 1 creates this whole new entity. It's not one getting absorbed into the other. That's an unhealthy dynamic. And so when you have an awareness of self, of where your energy ends and another person begins, if you have tools to manage your energy, to check in with yourself, and also to disconnect and cleanse your energy, then you run a much greater chance of having a strong, healthy connection versus an imbalanced connection, because it's really common among empaths not just to be compassionate partner, but to overgive. Okay, overgiving is a sign of being an empath too, because a lot of times we're so attuned to not wanting another person to feel discomfort that we do too much to help them be happy. Okay, that's an empath who's out of balance. And we're going to be talking about that in depth in the class. That's a great question, Allie. Thank you for asking. Oh my God, Jennifer has a great question. Any thoughts about the need to, quote, stay busy as an empath, challenges with saying no? Okay, one of the hallmarks of an unbalanced, unempowered empath is not having healthy boundaries, both with other people, but also with themselves. The inability to say no, just saying yes to everything, to overscheduling themselves, to overgiving, to overcommitting, also to distracting themselves with all of the busyness of doing all the things, so that they don't actually have to feel what they're feeling, instead of having the tools to feel what they're feeling and still be healthy about it. So we distract ourselves doing all the things, doing all the things. Also, that can go into even more unhealthy and toxic and dysfunctional behavior of numbing self with addictions, with substance abuse, with addictions to caffeine, with addictions to alcohol, with addictions to drugs, with addictions to sugar, with addiction to sex, with addictions to social media, text, clickety clack. Addictions can be a way of escaping the overstimulation of being an empath if you're not balanced and don't have tools and are not grounded. And grounding is not a thing that you do once and you're good. Oh, I'm grounded. That's like saying I took one bath and now I'm forever clean. That's not how this works. Energy hygiene is cleansing your energy on a regular basis. We've all been taught how to clean our bodies. We wash ourselves, we brush our teeth, we wash our hair on a regular basis. You wash your ass regularly. How often are you cleaning your energy? And if you're an empath, that shit is accumulating. Literally, that shit is accumulating. Okay, so someone else mentioned that they're trying to register. The code to get the 188, if you register today, off of the normal price of $333, is all caps, all one word, empath 188. Afiba says, I'm not tech savvy. I'm trying to register. Afiba, I can help you offline if you're having a problem. Just click when you go to that website, click the big old register now button. And then where it says coupon code, type in empath 188. If you have any issues at all, DM me and I can walk you through it. but it's pretty straightforward. And also, if you're not tech savvy, this class is very, very easy. There's even a mobile app for my class, so you can have it on your phone on the go. You don't have to be tech savvy. The live sessions will be on Zoom. All you will have to do is click a Zoom link, and my live session will appear. If you were tech savvy enough to get on this Facebook and YouTube live, you are tech savvy enough to take the class. There's no special technology needed. All you need is an internet connection and like a browser. That's all you need. You don't need to download anything special. If you want the app, it's optional. You can see this exact same stuff on the website. You can watch on your laptop, your desktop, your phone. If you've got a smart TV, you can do it over your smart TV. It's really, really easy. Okay, some more questions. Gigi said, oh, that's me. Oh, we're talking about absorbing other people and walking around with everybody else's energy. Okay, Phoebe says, I think I got it. Excellent. Oh, Peter says, this class good for men. It's good for anybody, male, female, non-binary, I don't care. Actually, in my opinion, there's a disproportionate amount of people who are empaths who are also queer and who are also neurodivergent on the spectrum. Both of those are spectrums, right? Spectrums of not fitting in one category. And neurodivergent includes being on the autism spectrum, ADHD and ADD spectrum, very high, very low, it doesn't matter. There's a very high number of people who are queer and people who are neurodivergent who are also happen to be empaths. But PJ's question was about men. This class is for everybody. I don't care who you are. If you are overwhelmed because you're absorbing everybody else's stuff, I don't care if you are a blue Martian from Mars, then this class is for you. Great question. Omi says, yes, hello, the dynamics, about family, empaths, and substances. Yes. Okay, Jamila Nicole said, I found myself grounding at some point daily. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So Wealth Magic says, I say that all the time when explaining Reiki. You clean your physical body daily, but what are you doing about your energetic body? Absolutely, you've been taught very well. I wonder who your teacher is. That's Misha in New Orleans, who's one of my Reiki students, is now a Reiki master and teaching, practicing on her own. So absolutely. So let's get into the topic of energy vampires, okay? Let's get into this topic of energy vampires. Energy vampires, what is an energy vampire? Anybody have a guess? If you have a guess, type it in the chat. That also gives me an excuse to eat the last bit of my turkey bacon. Energy vampires. Let me put this coupon code in the title. Yeah, discount code. It should be now on the screen. Shanta says, an energy vampire, people who drain you. Yes. PJ, people who suck the energy life force right out of you. Yes. Dion, folks that drain the life right out of you. Yes. Folks who drain your energy. Yes. Welcome to the class, Taniqua. If you just registered, and I hear my phone dinging with registrations, put it in the chat that you registered. Taniqua, let me ask you this, Taniqua. What was the number one reason that made you decide to register? If you just registered, put in the chat reason and why you registered. What was the main reason why you said, I need this class? She says, okay, Wealth Magic says some knowingly do it and some aren't aware they're doing it. That's absolutely true. An energy vampire, energy parasite, they're not always bad people. It's just they don't have enough of their own energy, their own life force energy, a healthy amount. So they have to go get it from other people. Sometimes it's narcissism, abuse on the far end, but sometimes it's a level of neediness. Sometimes it is playing the victim. Sometimes it is it's always about crossing your boundaries. Always about crossing your boundaries. Allie has a great definition. Someone who doesn't know their own emotional management, so they use yours to fulfill themselves. Excellent. Yep. People who feel good around you, and they siphon off your energy. Yes. So Londa says people, ideas, beliefs, items. and obsessions that's giving the opportunity to pull or take away your energy. Excellent. Yes. So yeah, that's exactly it. An energy vampire is using your energy. They're sucking it. It's almost like they have a straw or some fangs, right? And taking your lifeblood. And again, most of the time they don't even know that that's what they're doing, and they're not intentional about it. Sometimes they're not even bad people. They just don't have enough of their own. And when you start to create a boundary with them, the first thing they're going to do is resist that and maybe even accuse you of something because they don't want to lose their supply. You are their supply in these little bits, right? And it's not just the big, toxic people, but it's the little energy people. Here's an example of you having an unhealthy energy connection with someone. Someone said something to you yesterday, it got under your skin. You're still thinking about it. You're still in your head composing a reply. How you going to reply to that text or that email? This was yesterday. The other person's not even thinking about it anymore, but they're still living off your energy, and you're still putting your energy. You're still giving them your energy. That is an flagrant energy violation, boundary violation. Okay, so Afiba says the reason why you signed up, my spiritual ascension and my development to clear blocks. Thank you, Afiba, for sharing. So does anybody else relate to that? I'm taking this class, or I need this class because we're my spiritual ascension and development and to clear blocks. Taniqua said the reason she signed up for the class is I'm on the path to healing from energy drains, but I'm learning to use expert resources instead of trying to do everything myself. I've had a hard morning, emotionally, energy-wise, so this live was perfect timing. Thank you, Taniqua. I believe everything happens for a reason and there's no accident. You're on this live. Some people just stumbled into it. They didn't even know I was live. Some people are not even following me, don't know who I am, but they saw this live that someone shared on their page and just kind of stumbled into it. And they're just like, oh, she's talking to me, right? There's no accident. So energy vampires, in order to preserve your energy, because there's difference between being supportive of a person versus feeding them from your blood, feeding them from your energy. When you're supportive of another person, they're using their own energy and you're standing with them, right? To witness them, to encourage them. That's healthy. But you fixing them, you rescuing them, you're involved in an energy vampire dynamic. That's not healthy. So if you're doing all these things for them, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't mean just doing somebody a favor here and there. You know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about lending money that you don't have or lending money to someone you don't want to because it doesn't feel good. I'm talking about making someone's job interview, you writing their resume because they won't do it, but you want them to get a job more than they want them to get a job. I'm talking about you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with someone, you're in a marriage, and you're doing your part of the relationship plus their part of the relationship because you think that if you show them how great it is what you're doing, that they may step up. That's what I'm talking about. Those are energy drains. These are energy vampires. And sometimes energy vampires don't even have to like stalk us to get our energy. Sometimes we're just like, here, take my energy. Let me make this cut in my neck so you can have my blood. Sometimes we put ourselves on an altar for sacrifice. We do it to ourselves. So part of empath energy management is having healthy boundaries with our own selves. Sometimes the energy vampire is in the mirror. Sometimes it's treating priorities like self-care, nutrition, wellness, movement as inconveniences, while treating inconveniences such as social media, arguments, emails, work that can wait as priorities. That's energy vampiring our own selves. I don't know why I can't say energy vampire today. Okay. Oh, mom says, I always love it when mom jumps on energy vampires, folks who can get their own answers but continue to keep asking others for answers. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't know about you, but she's stepping on toes up in here. How many times are you Googling stuff for people who can get the answer the same? They got the same Google you got. Also, if you are a friend who is supportive, if you work in a healing profession, if you are a therapist, people keep coming to you for answers to their life issues and you keep giving it to them instead of allowing them to find the answers on their own. And they're going to keep asking you for the answers because they want your energy versus them cultivating the knowledge and the wisdom. That is a great example. Frida, hey, welcome, Frida. Welcome from Scotland. I wanted to hear and see the person behind the so many great quotes and encouraging words. Oh, thank you, Frida, all the way in Scotland. I love it. Okay, so this message is resonating. People saying, woo, guilty. Yes. We've done it. Okay, so we're going to look at that in this class and we're going to address it and we're going to actually give tools. So how do you manage these situations? What if I actually gave you a PDF of scripts of here are the actual words you can say when you feel like you're about to say yes to someone that you don't need to say yes to? What are the actual words? What do you say to someone who is infringing on your boundaries? Because sometimes empaths know that this is uncomfortable. They know they need to set a boundary, but they just don't know what to say. Or by the time they think of what to say, the situation has passed and they've already kind of been bullied into saying yes, or they jumped in to voluntarily say yes without being bullied, just so that the other person would feel good. There's also intentional energy vampires. And Portia says, girl, I have dealt with the intentional energy vampires on public transportation. I mean, they rolled up on the scene searching for the person that they can feed off of. Yes. Yes. Energy vampires can be strangers. Energy vampires can be very close loved ones. Energy vampires could be someone on social media that you're constantly following and getting in fights with online. You don't know these people. Why are you fighting with these people? On the internet, on Al Green's internet. PJ says public transportation is full of them. You know where else is full of them? Religious institutions. Full of energy vampires. I'm not anti-religion, absolutely not. But a lot of times wounded people who are unhealthy will show up in these situations because they know people who are loving and healthy will congregate there and that is a ready source of blood, fresh blood for them. Some of them are in the congregation, some of them in the pulpit. Energy vampires, people who want your energy. Sabina says, I'm taking this course to stop the quote, death by 1,000 paper cuts. I'm showing up to learn how to manage my empath energy skillfully. Excellent. Congratulations. If you just signed up for the course, drop it in the chat and tell me why you signed up for the class. I'm curious why, because this is my first time running this particular course. And I really want to know what was the reason that made you say, okay, I need this and I need this right now. We start a week in 2 weeks. We start on Sunday, April 30th. But you'll get immediate email confirming your attendance, and I'll also be opening up the online private forum next week so that we can start communicating even before the class begins. So you'll be able to get downloads like guided audio meditations, grounding meditations, boundary meditations. You're going to get scripts. You're going to get affirmations of things that you can say to reprogram yourself out of the old programming that didn't have strong boundaries. And sometimes it isn't just energy vampires, but sometimes as an empath, we're like sponges and we just soak up everything around us until we create an intentional, healthy boundary. Sometimes we don't even realize how much we're soaking up that belongs to other people until we start letting it go and we feel lighter and we're just like, oh my God, I had no idea how much I was carrying. Well says big old facts. Big old facts. Afiva says, funny, yes, I love when I spot them spotting me. I'd be like, damn, she sees me. You mean on public transportation or out in public? Yep. We all know who has a coworker or a colleague who was an energy vampire. You don't have to name them. I just want to know who. Type of 4, if you have a colleague, coworker, or client vendor, whoever, somebody that you work with on a regular basis. That's an energy vampire. Also, I'm taking questions. If you have questions about empaths, about energy vampires, about my class, what the class entails, how to sign up, that 188 special, that's going away. That's just the early bird, brand new class. I'm on live and I want people to be able to jump in. Oh, I forgot. This is important. This is important. There is a payment plan. If you have a PayPal account, you can do PayPal's pay in 4. So you can split that payment up into 4 equal payments. I think it's once a week, if I'm not mistaken, 1 payment a week. So I don't remember what 188 divided by 4 is. What is that like? What is that? 22 plus 25? Barbara said 4. Yes. Hi, Mama Barbara. Who Who has had that toxic coworker? Type of 4. Portia said 444 at both jobs. She said not the toxic coworker at both jobs. Karen, I have chronic fatigue and I've been hiding in my cave for years. I'm a little tired of being alone, but don't quote play well with others. I've done healing on other people, but find it hard to own that role. Yeah, I thank you for sharing. First of all, that chronic fatigue, that's no joke. That is absolutely no joke. It is a real thing. And if you combine that with energy leaks in the way that you may overgive to other people and don't see yourself worthy of receiving that same healing. First of all, you are every bit as deserving of receiving the healing that you're sharing with other people. And this isn't just for Karen, this is for everybody. You are every bit of deserving of the love that you pour into other people. You're deserving of that same love. All that you pour, all the love, the care, the encouragement, the support, the acceptance, the tolerance, the forgiveness that you pour into other people, you are worthy of having that as well. Actually, you're worthy of having that first. Actually, another shameless plug. For my book. We addressed that in my book, A Year of Self-Love Journal. This isn't just blank pages with an affirmation at the top. It's 52 weeks of exercises, of journaling prompts, of affirmations. Each week has one affirmation, 2 journaling prompts, 1 mind, body, spirit exercise, and a worksheet. So that's 52 sets of that. For those, I'm just going to read something random here. What's a good one? Okay, week 14 that's a good one. Week 14, I focus on what's in my control and I release what's not mine to carry. That's the affirmation. Journaling prompts. Part of self-love is managing what you give your attention to, both within you and around you. In what ways do you feel responsible for the behavior, thoughts, feelings, ideas, and decisions of other people? Second journaling prompt. How would it feel to free yourself from carrying what isn't yours? What would you have the energy to do? What in your life would change as a result? I mean, I just opened this randomly, but this is so so on time for what we're talking about today. Then there's a yoga stretch specifically designed to relieve your tension in your shoulders, which goes hand in hand with the emotional energy of carrying other people's burdens. Then there's a whole worksheet of what is within my control and what's not in my control and where to shift your focus. So that's just 1 week of activities in A Year of Self-Love Journal. You can get that on Amazon. So Karen, first, learning how to love yourself and deciding that you're willing to learn how to love yourself, because it may not just happen overnight. That's the first step. But while you're doing that, managing your energy is an act of self-love. It is a practice. Right now, you're in practice of not managing your energy. We all have practices, whether we're aware of them or not. So we're making intentional shifts to what we are choosing to practice versus what we are practicing by habit and what we are practicing absentmindedly. But thank you for sharing. Carissa says, I'm going to sign up to stay consistent on my self-care practices. Yes, that is, if you give your attention to something for 21 days, you have created a habit. 6 weeks is way more than 21 days. And so by the end of the 6 weeks, you will be in the habit of creating healthy energy boundaries, of being able to discern what's your energy and what's yours to deal with and carry versus what is someone else's energy. And also picking up on the energy isn't just about people, but you may walk into a cemetery, a home, something that has a weird vibe, and you may need to be able to distinguish what is the vibe coming from and how do I make sure it's not staying on me. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so Wealth Magic, Misha says the PayPal of paying for is every 2 weeks. So you get 4 payments. So you could pay for this 188 over 8 weeks. Okay, let me break saying the wrong math out here. Right? But 4 payments of 188 is $47. So you could get started and sign up if you do the Empath 188. You can get started for $47 today. That's a really good deal. Normally this class is $333. I'm doing an introductory rate because it's the first time I'm offering it of $247. But early bird special is several $100s off. Is 188, and the first payment could be as low as $47 with PayPal. What? The payment plan is through PayPal. So when you check out, it's going to give you an option of whether you want to use a direct credit card or pay with PayPal. Choose the PayPal option, and then it will show you if you're eligible to get that paying for. I think if you have a PayPal account, then you're eligible for that. If you don't have a PayPal account, I don't know if they'll offer you that. Thank you for the checking that out for me, Misha. Mama Barbara said, I almost let them take me out, meaning these toxic coworkers. I knew better, but I was lazy with my boundaries. Ooh. Okay, so there's a catch-22 here, and thank you for sharing, Mama Barbara. There's a catch-22. Sometimes we have toxic people, energy vampires, which contributes to us feeling drained. And then we're so drained that we don't have enough energy to set a healthy boundary with the person who's draining our energy. That's a real situation. But at some point we have to decide. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you were overwhelmed. We have to decide, I'm going to take my energy back and I'm going to start to create this boundary. And then you'll feel more and more and more empowered. The more you do it, the more empowered you feel, the more practiced you are in taking all your energy back. Actually, I'm going to gift you all right now with a little practice. Let's do this. Unless you're driving. Everybody, let's do this. Get comfortable. We're just going to do a little mini energy clearing right now. Okay, get comfortable. Pause what you're doing if you're multitasking. Don't pause if you're driving. Don't do this if you're driving, unless you're able to pull over safely or operating like heavy machinery or, chopping vegetables or some shit like that. Just be still. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Fully and deeply and slowly fill up your lungs until you don't have any more air to put in there. Hold for one moment. Breathe out through the mouth. Deeply and slowly. Once again, breathe in through the nose. Hold. Exhale slowly and audibly with a sigh. We are regulating our nervous systems with these deep breaths. Okay, deep and slow. Take a nice deep, slow inhale. In through the nose. Fill up your lungs all the way, a little bit more. Hold. Exhale slowly. And now say to yourself, put your hand over your heart. Feel your body, feel your energy body. Where you begin and where the air begins and where you end. And feel all the ways that your energy is extended outside your body to these other people and situations, past and present. Allow yourself to feel all these psychic cords, all the vampires, all the leeches, all the parasites. Just feel that. Your energy is way over there. You got a vampire over here. Just feel that. Take a deep, slow breath. And exhale. And say to yourself, put your hand over your heart, I now call all my energy back to me. Repeat after me. I now call all of my energy back to me. Whoever is living off of any of my energy, disconnect. I cast them off. I wish them well. But I now call all my energy back into my body. Can you feel that? I now call all my energy back to my body. Excellent. Take a nice deep slow breath. And as you exhale, exhale all the connections that you didn't give permission to and all the connections you gave permission to, but you are now revoking. One more time. Inhale through the nose. I now call all my energy back to my body. Exhale. Good. Good. Thank you for that. If you felt that, put a 2 in the chat. While you're typing, Afiba had a question. Is it possible to be your own vampire? Yes. A minute ago or a little while ago, I was saying sometimes the biggest energy vampire. Why I keep saying empire? The biggest energy vampire is the one in the mirror. Just like others may be sucking our own energy, we have to create healthy boundaries with ourselves so that we don't give our energy away and also don't create and manufacture circumstances where we are not maintaining and honoring our own energy. Jamila says 2. Jamila Nicole says 2. Portia says 2. She felt that was lovely. Amy says 2. Sabrina says 2. Type in 2 if you felt that energy clear. Dion says 2. Valerie says 2. Natalie says 2. Sarah says 2, 2, 2. Good, good. You can do this at any time. This is just one little mini step, and there are other steps. There's layers to your self-care, right? There's layers to your energy hygiene, just like there's layers to the way you wash your body. Sometimes it's just a quick rinse. Sometimes it's a deep scrub. Sometimes you got to soak in a tub. Sometimes you got to scrub. Like there's layers to this. There's layers to energy hygiene. Sometimes you just need a little quick dusting off, especially if you've been fairly clean and just are maintaining. But sometimes if you're starting off with all these other people's energy on, you might need a deep clean. You might need a Reiki session. You might need a spiritual bath. You might need an energy deep clean or whatever it is. TKW says 2. Peace and Love says 2. Kathy says 2. Afiba says 2. My breath got bigger. Girl, first time I read it, I thought you said breasts. That's okay. Breasts and breath. It's all good. Zoe says 2. Afiba says soak. Yes, sometimes you need to soak. If you felt that energy shift, type 2. If you felt that energy shift, that little 3 minute, it wasn't even 3 minutes, that 2 minute energy shift, imagine what it would be like after 12 hours of live instruction with me. We're going to get you straight. So the class URL is on the scrolling on the screen, bit.ly/empath energy reset. The discount code to get that 188 is empath 188. Jamari, welcome. Afiba says 22222. Jamari said, I just registered for that exact reason. The ways that I vampire myself. That's awesome. Own it. No one else is responsible for your energy boundaries but you. Energy vampires exist, energy parasites exist, whether they mean to be so or they just don't have enough energy of their own and they're just grasping at straws. What they do is their responsibility. What you do with your energy is your responsibility. You're not responsible for whether energy vampires exist, although in some cases you can certainly make choices about who you spend time with. But you are responsible for maintaining your own energy. You're not responsible for traumas that happen to you, but you are responsible for your healing from this point moving forward. And so I'm asking you, if you know that you're an empath, whether you just joined us or you've been on this, we're now an hour and a half into this live, whether you just joined us and you knew that you were an empath from the get-go, what is your commitment to yourself moving forward, whether you take my class or not? What are you going to do to commit to managing your energy, to learning how to manage your energy, and to actually implementing practices that are self-loving to manage your own energy so that you're not like Jamari, you're not like Afiba, where you're your own energy vampire, because we all do that on some level. There's the vampire without and there's the vampire within. Carissa has a question. Is it normal to feel lightheaded after that? Yes, the more lightheaded you feel, which is why I said don't do it while driving, is the more energy you released. You may have had some very deep parasites, vampires that you didn't even know that were taking so much blood that you just got a rush of energy. That's what's causing the lightheadedness. That doesn't mean that if you don't feel lightheaded, it didn't work. But if you do feel some kind of way, trust and believe you had a major shift just now in that little 1.5 minute exercise. Imagine if you had that level of cleaning on a regular basis. Because after the lightheaded, what's going to follow is you're going to get a boost of energy. Vita says 2. Ashley says, is it possible to know the subject of each of the sessions beforehand? Yeah, that's why I'm offering this discount, because the page isn't finished. It's plenty of information there, but we're going to talk about specifically what's going to be covered each week. But I can give you the overview. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up and I can tell you some of the things. I can look at my notes here and I can tell you some of the things that's going to be covered. Okay, so here's what's going to be covered. Some of the things, it's going to be more than this, but here's what's going to be covered in the 6-week course. How to identify and eliminate the energy leaks in your life that make you feel overwhelmed and exhausted, even though you're doing some form of self-care. How to ground yourself and prevent other people's energy from sticking to you in the first place. It's easier to stay clean if you start clean. How to understand what your body is telling you about the energy around you. How to recognize what stuff is yours versus what energy belongs to other people. how your environment might be contributing to your overwhelm and what to do about it, how to recognize and disarm energy vampires and energy parasites, how to soothe and regulate your nervous system. We didn't really talk about that today, but one of the reasons why you're overwhelmed and exhausted is your physical nervous system is in a perpetual state of crisis. And so some of the tools that I'm going to teach are how you can regulate and soothe your own nervous system. If your body doesn't know how to feel safe, it's going to create chaos in your emotions and your energetic system. Also, we're going to talk about how to turn the sensitivity, to plug up the energy leaks, turn the sensitivity into your superpower so that it works for you and not against you, making you feel like you got to hide under a rock and hide from the world. So that's an overview of what we're going to cover in the class. What's included in the class: 6 live sessions via Zoom. So that's 6 2-hour live sessions. All of them are recorded. You'll never have to worry if you have to miss a class, part of a class, because you're going to have access to everything for a minimum of a year. You're going to learn calming mind, body, spirit practices to help soothe and regulate your nervous system. You're going to get meditation audio downloads that you can save and play at any time, even if you're not online. I'm going to provide workshops, worksheets, and journaling prompts so that you can do some inner soul searching and see where you are in that process of managing your energy and breaking through your internal blocks. There's going to be a private online support forum. And it's not even going to be on Facebook. I got my own platform now because Facebook be bugging. So I have my own private platform, and we're going to just talk amongst ourselves and discuss what we're learning as we're implementing it. Plus, I'm in that chat room. You're going to get live support from me. Plus, when you come on the live sessions, you're going to get live support from me. We're going to work this out. Okay? So we start on April 30th, which is a Sunday, 2 weeks from now. But the early bird discount is about to go away. So I am going to add some more stuff to the page about the class, including why people have signed up, because I want people to understand how they can use this information. But thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else have questions? Because we're going to start to wrap up. So today we talked about how to say yes beyond your comfort zone, to stretch yourself, even if you feel imposter syndrome, even if you feel I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, why would they want me, I don't have it together. We talked about that. If you missed that part of the live, as soon as the live is over, you can go back and listen to the beginning. We talked about how to know if you're an empath, what are some of the strengths of the empath, and also what are some of the pitfalls of an empath, ways that we are our own energy vampire. We also talked about what other external energy vampires and parasites look like. If you would like for me to be your coach through this empath journey, to help personally teach you not just random tools and techniques that I got off of Google, this is the shit that I do every day in my personal life as someone who is a natural born empath, who is also now a professional psychic and Reiki master, all up in everybody else's energy. These are my practices that I use to cleanse my own energy and to disconnect when I'm intimately, because when I'm in an intuitive session with someone, I'm all up in their energy. It's a very intimate experience. So if you would like for me to be your coach through this process for the next 6 weeks, starting at lowest payment as low as $47 to get you started, if you do the PayPal payment option, go ahead and sign up. It's on the screen right now. It's bit.ly/empath energy reset, or you can go to my website, jamilawhite.com, JAMILAWHITE. That's the new website that's being built. But the site is there. If you scroll down below my picture, it'll have the graphic for Empath Energy Reset course. Click on that and you can sign up from there. If you want to get that early bird rate, the discount code to get that $188 price, because the regular price is $333, the introductory price is $247. All of that's a good deal, all of it. But the Empath 188 will get you in for $188. Jamari, hey, Jamari says, I took Jamila's Claire's class, meaning clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant. And trust me, Jamila's knowledge is worth more, 188 and more. Even if you think you, quote, already know these things, Jamila's practices and perspectives are always powerful. Wow, Jamari, thank you. Okay, I didn't pay Jamari for that. I didn't even know Jamari was going to be here, but thank you, Jamari. That's really kind of you to say. When I do a class, I put everything I know in the class. This is not a take my $188 class and then get, I try to sell you a $5,000 class. I'm gonna put everything that I know into this 188 class or 333 class that you can get for 188 right now. Peace and Love says, I just registered because I need to make some positive changes in my life and take better care of myself. Amen to that. Learning how to manage your energy, whether you do it through my class or you do it on your own through trial and error, it is a self-love practice. It is loving to yourself to manage, maintain your energy. It is loving to yourself to have healthy energy boundaries so that you can do the things you want to do in your life because you're not so exhausted, overwhelmed, and discouraged because you've picked up all this shit from other people. We are living in times where the last 3 years, the energy on this planet has shifted. It has absolutely shifted. So the things that you used to do for self-care prior to 2020, they don't work the same anymore. It's like a video game where you had a toolbox and it had a purple banana, a blue key, and a yellow flower, and those were your tools, and that you could unlock any situation on that level. You're in a new level now, and it's not that the purple banana is wrong or the blue key or the yellow flower is wrong. They just don't work on this level. There's new tools for a new level. And since 2020, the whole planet energy has shifted. That's why you're more tired. It's why you're more sensitive. How many people over the last 3 years are more sensitive to certain foods, certain ingredients, certain chemicals, have a smaller tolerance for bullshit than before? Your energy sensitivity is going up. And that's not going to change, while the world is also giving you more things to be sensitive about. And if you are an unbalanced, ungrounded, and unempowered empath, it's going to feel very overwhelming to you until you get some tools. Like I said, you don't have to learn from me, but my prayer is that you don't suffer needlessly by not having any tools and practices, so that you're not feeling like a sponge and being reactive or being too tired to do anything. Sarah says, signing up now. I'm done being my own energy vampire, feeling like I can do it all and have it all figured out. I'm loving myself enough to know that I need a coach to this energy and keep it consistent and flowing, and being okay with that. Thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad that you're going to be in the class. Also, let me also say something about this class. It's me. I'm the teacher. The class is fun. This is not just us sitting around, woe is me, let's talk about all our problems. If you think I'm fun and interesting in a live stream, I'm going to be fun and interesting in this class. We're going to keep it real. We're going to do this class with love, but we're also going to do it with fun and with ease, okay? I don't want you to feel like being an empath is a burden, because that's how so many of us have felt being sensitive people, is that the sensitivity may be a hindrance, that the sensitivity is a burden. I wish I didn't care so much about people. I wish I didn't do so much for people. I wish I didn't feel so sensitive. I wish people weren't telling me I'm so emotional. I wish that, I wasn't the one that everybody comes to for help. Your sensitivity, your kindness, your compassion, your empathic abilities is not a hindrance. But if you learn how to manage it, you can actually harness that energy and turn it into your superpower and live your best motherfucking life. When I became balanced, I was able to do things like move to Barbados and live my life, because I'm not leaking energy. When you plug up the leaks, you get to keep that energy for yourself. Keep it for yourself. Carissa says, yes, 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 and yes. Okay, you guys, I need to get off this live stream. We've been in here for almost 2 hours, and most of you have stuck with me for this whole time. I thank you for that. I do thank you for that. So if you have questions about the class, what it entails, DM me. Okay, DM me or send me you can text me. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Text me on my actual phone. You can see in the chat, 240-242-9390. Country code is 1. Area code is 1242. I'm sorry, 1-240-242-9390. You can actually text me. And after the live stream, if you have a question about the class or how do you enroll, or where do you put the coupon code, I'm happy to answer that for you. It'll come directly to me. You can DM me as well. Depending on, I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, you can send me a DM to my business page, not my personal page, because I don't check that often. Send it to my business page. I'll respond. Also, if you are signed up for the class and there's something in particular that you want to learn, because this is the first time I'm doing the class, I've created the class, but there's wiggle room. There's something you really want to know, speak up about it. I'll teach it in the class. If you have a question, I'll make sure your question gets answered in the class, and I can even teach a module about that. I mean, I already have the modules laid out, but I can make sure we cover what is most important to you. Oh, Phoebe, I love you too. Peace and love. I love you too. So thank you guys for spending a Sunday morning with me, or wherever you are. It might be Sunday evening. Some places even early Monday morning if you're far, far away in the Philippines, in Australia. I was shocked to learn that after the United States, the number one countries that are watching my Facebook pages are in Egypt and the Philippines, as well as London and in Australia. So shout out to all the folks in the Philippines and Egypt who are watching my page. Like, this is so amazing that technology allows us to connect literally from all over the world. It's a beautiful thing. Sarah, thank you so much. This was awesome. And of course, in divine timing, see you soon. Thank you so much for that comment, Sarah. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this live, to participate, to show up, not just for me, but for yourself on a Sunday morning. Thank you to everybody who registered for the course and made that commitment to learning and using self-care practices to manage your empath energy. Even if you're not in the course, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to learn how to manage your energy. If you work with me, that's a shortcut. It'll get you there more quickly with more joy and more ease. But it's totally okay if you don't, because you can still get there. What I just don't want is that you're walking around exhausted, burdened, tired, and also resentful because people are taking, and not pouring back into you. I can hear all the alerts going on my phone. I don't know if y'all can hear that. My phone is blowing up with the payment alerts and the new sign up alerts. So thank you. If you just sign up for the course, please drop it in the chat, the reason why you signed up. Put reason and then why, and then tell us why you signed up. Because I want to know what made you decide today is the day and I'm signing up for this Energy Empath Reset course. Ashley says, thank you. Congrats on all your successes. Thank you, Ashley. You know, this means a lot coming from you because you knew me way back when. I love that there are so many people in this chat right now who knew me back when I was working at Sacred Circle 10 years ago. Y'all, that was 10 years ago. I started working there in the fall, November of 2020, of 2012. And a lot of you met me in that 2012, 2013 timeframe when I was working there and just getting started as a psychic. I wasn't even there to be a psychic. I started working there. I was working in the shop just to sell, incense and oils and tarot cards and stuff as an employee temporarily for 3 months. And so some of you have been with me since day one with that. Some of you even have been with me through businesses prior to that, marketing consultant, Jay Blossom, Shout Out Central and StepShow.com, all of that, because I've been an entrepreneur since 1997 full time. So it means a lot that there are people who are just still connected and still want to connect with me and who see that none of this stuff happened overnight, that I've been showing up and to connect with you guys and to share what I've learned. And when I learn more, I share more. So it means so much that from back in 2012, you got on my mailing list and didn't unsubscribe. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Afiba said yes. And TKW said, didn't sign up yet, but will after I'm done walking this puppy. I'm doing it because it's about time I be intentional about tools that will help me grow. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for showing up for yourself. You don't have to be exhausted like you are. You don't have to be a victim, and you don't have to feel like everybody's taking from you, taking advantage of your kindness, of your compassion, because that's part of being an empath, is the wanting to help and heal. That's in our nature, but it can feel out of balance when it is out of balance. And that can help, it can make us feel used. It can make us feel resentful. It can make us feel unappreciated. So taking control of that process, empowering ourselves so that we don't feel like we're at the mercy of all these other people or the world, and claiming our power in the form of, I'm an empath and it's working for me. I can use this to connect with people in meaningful ways, but I'm not subject to being overwhelmed by them or by me. I don't have all these parasites hanging off of me, feeding off of my energy anymore, which means I now have energy to live my best life. Like, you have that power within you. You were not placed on this earth to be everybody's doormat or to be everybody's food source. You got to eat too. You got to eat too. And so I hope that your commitment today, regardless of whether you work with me or not, is that you commit to yourself to step up to manage your energy, to learn how so that you are joyful, full of vitality, and full of energy. Thank you so much, Afiba. You've also been there from early on too. So, okay, before I close out, I want to know one thing. What's your biggest takeaway from today? What is your biggest takeaway from today? What if you didn't learn anything else when you walk away today? What is something that you came away with from today? Whether either what was your aha moment, what did you learn, did you realize, what are you going to implement? Just tell me one of those things. What is your aha? Put it in the chat. Sometimes it takes a minute for the things to show up on my screen. Afiba said love and support. Vita said, let's go. Vita, did you sign up for the class? If you did, put it in the chat. The reason why you signed up, because I haven't seen the notifications yet, so I don't know who signed up yet. Or let me see if I can pull it up on my computer. I might be able to do it that way. Let me go to my dashboard. Oh, shit. It's a bunch of y'all that just signed up. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, my goodness. Wow, 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 y'all. Okay, 15 people just signed up in the last few minutes. This is amazing. You guys are so awesome. Okay, so what is your takeaway? What is your takeaway? Carissa said her takeaway is I am powerful, capable, and sovereign. Valerie says hope and clarity. Yes, those are great takeaways. Great takeaways. Let's see if I can pull up the names quickly of who was signing up so I can just give y'all a shout out. There's an easy way for me to do it. I'm in a new system that I'm now using Kajabi. I'm in the process of moving my website and upgrading my website. So I don't know where all the buttons are automatically. Jamari says his takeaway is to make it a practice calling back my energy. Yes. TKW says her takeaway is the need to understand how I am dividing up my energy. Yes. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Because sometimes, we know when there's something big that's making us drain, but death by 1,000 paper cuts. Cut, 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 cut. You bleeding out. You're bleeding out. I'm looking for other takeaways before we close out. Other takeaways. Let me see. I'm trying to see who actually, if there's a quick way for me to see who actually signed up. There is, but I just don't know where that button is right away in my new system. It says, it tells me how many. I want to see the names. I was trying to give y'all a shout out, but oh well. Okay. So I thank you all for spending this time with me. I love you. Not just the people in the live. I love those of you who are watching on the replay. Shout out to all my replay folks. I love everybody who showed up. I love everybody who shared. I love everybody who has ever told someone about me at any point in time. I love those of you who are praying for me and sending me the good vibes, no matter what I do, and no matter whether you sign up or not, I receive it and I'm sending it right back out to you. Hey, Tracy Melton, you just came on. You'll be able to catch the replay and the details of my class. If you look at that URL that's on the screen right now, I have a special where you can get the $333 class for $188. And it starts April 30th. So that all the information is on that page. If you go to bit.ly/empath energy reset, and the discount code is empath188. So Tracy said, I just came on and missed it, most of the live. Love your energy and your honesty and realness. Thank you so much. Peace and love says her takeaway is sometimes we have to learn new practices and tools to manage our energy. Yes, yes. Okay, just thank you all. I love you guys so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Big old hug, group hug from Barbados. Love you, love you, love you. Oh, if you have one more thing, Jamari and a couple other people, if you have your own mailing list of people, holler at me, because there's an affiliate program to a chance to share the love, share the wealth. If you're already going to spread the word about my class, if you're already that person, then please hit me up so that I can also share in the wealth with you. Jamari, and anybody else who has a mailing list. Vita said the reason she signed up is I'm tired of being drained and I need to be free so I can do great things. That is it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. Be free, have the energy and the vitality, the passion and the excitement to do great things. Thank you, Gigi times 3. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. If you're not on my mailing list, DM me so with your email address so I can add you and continue to keep you posted on specials and things that I'm doing. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful rest of the weekend. Love ya.